This happened in the summer of 2018. It was late July, and my cousin Marcus and I had planned a weekend camping trip near Gallup, New Mexico. We were both in our mid-20s at the time. I had just left a job I hated, and Marcus was dealing with a breakup, so we both needed the quiet. Our families are from northern Arizona, but we wanted to go a little further this time. Gallup was familiar, and the area around it has plenty of open land and isolated trails. We weren't looking for anything wild, just a place off-grid, away from the world. No cell service, no people, no lights. We drove out Friday afternoon, packed with enough food, water, and gear for 3 days. The spot we picked wasn't on any official map. Marcus had marked it using an old Forest Service trail he found on Reddit, some broken-down service path that hadn't been maintained in years. It took about an hour of driving through dirt roads to reach it. No cell bars, no sounds except wind and tires on dust. The place looked perfect when we got there. There was a clearing just beneath a ridge of sandstone, sparse pines, a fire ring someone had built long ago. Plenty of flat ground for the tent. We unpacked, set up camp, and got a small fire going before sunset. That first night felt normal, peaceful. Stars were out, coyotes yipped in the distance. The usual stuff. We stayed up talking until around midnight, then crawled into the tent and passed out. Asterisk, but the second night changed everything. Asterisk, it started with the sounds, not animal sounds, not wind. Talking. Just past midnight, I woke up to what sounded like a voice outside the tent. It was faint, muffled, like someone muttering under their breath, but close to close. At first, I thought Marcus was awake and maybe on the phone or something, but then I remembered no signal out there. I whispered his name. He didn't respond. He was still asleep, breathing heavy. I sat up slowly, careful not to make noise. The voice kept going. I still couldn't make out the words, but I noticed something strange. It didn't sound like English, or Spanish, or Navajo. It sounded wrong, like syllables that didn't belong together, and the tone, it wasn't conversational. It was like a chant, rhythmic, intentional. I unzipped the tent quietly and poked my head out. The fire had died to embers. There was nothing but darkness. And then it stopped. The voice just stopped. No footsteps, no crackling. Nothing. I stayed there, staring out into the dark for a few minutes, heart racing. Eventually, I zipped the tent closed and laid back down. Didn't sleep much after that. The next morning, I asked Marcus if he heard anything weird. He said no. I didn't want to sound paranoid, so I just let it go. We spent the day hiking a nearby ridge, took pictures, ate trail mix, typical stuff. But that night, it got worse. Much worse. We ate dinner and stayed up by the fire until maybe 11:30. We were joking about dumb childhood memories when I suddenly got this wave of unease, like something was watching us. I looked over Marcus's shoulder and noticed movement between the trees. A shape. Tall. Thin. It moved like it didn't have joints. It ducked behind a tree. Before I could make out details, I stood up immediately. Marcus followed my gaze. Did you see that? He asked. I nodded. We both grabbed our flashlights and scanned the tree line. Nothing. No rustling, no animals bolting. Just silence. Too much silence. We didn't see anything else, so we backed up toward the tent. No sleep that night. Sometime around 2 a.m., we heard footsteps circling the tent. Soft. Slow. Measured. Marcus grabbed his hunting knife. I held a flashlight in one hand and my multi-tool in the other. Neither of us said anything, just waited. The steps stopped. Then came this sound I'll never forget. It started like a whistle. High. Pitched, smooth. But then it bent like it was imitating a whistle, not doing it naturally. It went up and down in pitch in a weird, stuttering way. Not musical, not human. Then silence again. We waited. Another 30 minutes passed with nothing. Eventually, exhaustion knocked us both out. We woke up just after sunrise. First thing we did was check around the tent. We found prints. Not boots, not animal tracks. Bare feet, but distorted. The heel and arch looked human. But the toes were long. Too long. And spread unnaturally wide. Marcus stared at them, pale. Neither of us said what we were thinking. We both just knew. We decided to pack up and leave. No second guessing, no joking about it. But as we were hiking back toward the car, the feeling came back. That awful, crawling sensation on the back of your neck. We kept hearing branches snap behind us, but every time we turned, nothing was there. No birds, no insects, no whine. Just dead silence. We reached the car by early afternoon. threw everything in the back, and took off down the dirt road, tires sliding in the sand. But right as we turned out of the clearing, Marcus hit the brakes. Standing in the road was a deer. At least that's what it looked like at first. But its legs were too long, its body too thin, and its face looked stretched. Like skin that didn't fit the bone underneath. Its eyes were the worst part. Black, hollow. No reflection. Just pits. It didn't move, didn't blink, didn't even flinch when Marcus honked. After a minute, it slowly walked off the road and disappeared behind some rocks. We didn't say a word for the next 2 hours. Back home, I started researching. I didn't know what I was looking for exactly, but I searched keywords like weird encounter in forest, human, whistles in woods, distorted deer, New Mexico, barefoot humanoid forest, and eventually I found it. *SKINWALKERS. I read everything I could find. Accounts, legends, stories. The more I read, the colder I felt. Everything matched. The mimicry, the stalking, the distorted animal forms, the human-like prints. And the whistling. A week after we got back, Marcus texted me in the middle of the night. ***. I think it followed us. ***. I called him immediately. He said he heard the same whistle outside his apartment window. He lives in a third-floor unit. I didn't know what to say. 2 nights later, it happened to me. I was taking out the trash around midnight. I live in a quiet neighborhood with big pine trees at the back of the property. As I stepped outside, I heard it. The whistle. Same notes, same stuttered pitch from the trees. I dropped the bag and ran back inside. Locked every door and window. Didn't sleep. For months, nothing else happened. Then one night, my girlfriend came over. We were watching a movie, and around 1 a.m., she went to the kitchen for water. When she came back, she asked, "Why were you standing in the backyard?" I froze. "I wasn't," I said. She paused. "There was someone out there. I thought it was you. They were just staring." I ran to the window. Nobody there. But I knew it had come back. We moved a year later. Haven't heard or seen anything since. But I still check the tree line every night because I don't think it's gone. I think it's just waiting.